describe your life's journey with one word, what would that word be?
Boy, that's tough. With one word. Well, I would say gratitude.
Gratitude. Oh.
Episode 12, The GoldTree Legacy.
Hello, everyone. This is Rooted and Becoming, Episode 12, The GoldTree Legacy. I'm your host, Lei Lei Sengchanthalangsy. Throughout this season, we've explored what it means to become. We've journeyed through the silence, belonging, identity, love, healing, visibility, worthiness, and the immigrant experience. Each conversation has asked a deeper question. Who are we beneath the stories we inherited? And perhaps more importantly, what will we leave behind? When I first named my company GoldTree Co, I wasn't thinking about wealth, not really. I was thinking about roots. I was thinking about my parents. I was thinking about the refugees who crossed rivers, oceans, and borders, carrying little more than hope. I was thinking about all the people who planted seeds they would never live long enough to see grow. A tree does not eat its own fruit. A tree provides shade it may never enjoy. A tree stands because someone cared enough to plant it. Legacy is much the same. Today's guest embodies that truth. Dr. Bounlieng Phommasouvanh has spent decades investing in people, preserving culture, building community, and ensuring that future generations understand where they come from. As senior advisor to the Lao Community Culture Center, educator, leader, and mentor, Dr. B, as we call him, has dedicated his life to planting seeds of knowledge, identity, and belonging. But his influence reaches far beyond any title. Dr. B's life's work has been rooted in a simple but powerful belief that culture matters, that education matters. And when we invest in people, what I admire most about Dr. B is not simply what he has accomplished, but how he has accomplished it with humility, wisdom, generosity, and unwavering commitment to service. In many ways, he represents the very essence of this month's theme, GoldTree Legacy, because legacy is not measured by what we accumulate. Legacy is measured by the lives we touch, the communities we strengthen, and the seeds we plant for those who come after us. It is my tremendous honor and privilege to welcome Dr. Bounlieng Phommasouvanh to Rooted and Becoming. Welcome, 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 Dr. B.
Well, thank you, Lei Lei. It's an honor to be on your show. I'm really excited. And thank you for the kind introduction.
Oh, thank you. So excited. You are such an inspiration to me, and I am so honored to have you join us today. I would like to, just before we start, just to break the ice, I would love for you, if you can, share with us 2026. We are almost midway through 2026, but can you share just something that you are excited about for 2026? Can you share with our listeners?
Well, that's a good one. Well, at my age, I think a lot of things that should be thankful about. But I think for me at this stage, I really look forward to share my time with my family, my daughters in particular, and also treasure the time that I have each day. Value tremendously the life that I have, the friendship that I have developed, and the family ties that I have. So I think in the year 2026, I hope to tap on all those resources that I have. And in fact, I plan to visit my daughter's family reunion, in fact, for Father's Day.
Nice. Nice. I love that.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, you've built such a community around you, and what better than to just enjoy the resources that you've created, the community that you've created. So I wish you all the best in 2026. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Dr. B, as I mentioned, this is GoldTree Legacy. And I think you embody that in so many ways. And I mentioned in my intro that I admire the way you lead, because you lead with grace and humility and sort of quiet strength. And it's such an honorable way that I myself, that's how I lead. And so when I see that,
Good.
yeah. And so I wanted this conversation to be sort of that fireside chat to allow our listeners to get to know you, because we have come to see you as a leader in our Lao community, but there's a lot about Dr. B that we just don't know. And so this is the opportunity for us to peel that onion, enjoy each other's conversation. So with that, let's kick it off. Can you tell us a little bit about your refugee story?
Well, my refugee story is different from the story most Lao people followed,
Mhm.
because I think my journey to this country began when I went to Singapore as an official on behalf of the Minister of Education to attend an annual meeting in Singapore. I didn't intend to leave. I wanted to go back and work in Laos. But my intention was on my way back, I would stop in Thailand to see my friends, because many of my friends already left the country. Friends who went to study abroad left the country already and were still in Thailand. So I had no connection with them. Everything was blacked out in Laos.
Mhm.
But my plan really went through a radical detour on my return, on my stop in Thailand. My friend and my former educational advisor, who was now teaching at the University of Chiang Mai, learned of my trip to Singapore and my plan to stop in Thailand. So he arranged a meeting with me on my return to Laos. So he came down from Chiang Mai, taking an overnight train, and met me the next day and took me, to my surprise, to the American embassy for an update on the political situation in Laos. So to make long story short, the advice to me was not to go back to Laos because the political situation was too dangerous and unsafe for me as a person having studied abroad in the United States and working in positions that probably were viewed as pro-West positions. So from the onset, I really expressed a strong desire not to leave the country, but to return to Laos, because I was not prepared to leave my family behind. But we had an intense exchange of ideas for about 3 hours. And at that time, I came to a conclusion that I would take the advice of not going back for my own safety and also for the future of my family. So I arranged for my family to join me in Bangkok, my wife and 2 daughters. So in Bangkok, I was really lucky to have a job. I was offered a job as a senior trainer at Innotech, which is an educational center of a Southeast Asian Minister of Education stationed in Bangkok. So I was there for 8 months. I think in March, of 1976, the Thai government issued a decree demanding that all Lao nationals either had to go back to Laos or represent the government or became a refugee. So I did, meaning going as a refugee, meaning you had to go to live in the camp, the Nong Khai refugee camp. So rather than doing that, I came to this country directly. So it was in March 1976. So I came to Iowa and settled in a small conservative city, Sioux Center, in a small conservative town, but very safe, very friendly community. So there I didn't have a job. I did odd jobs like mowing lawns, doing painting. But in the fall of 76, I moved to Des Moines, the capital of Iowa, and was hired as a teacher. For about 2.5 years, I was hired as a deputy director of program at the University of Iowa. So that was the beginning of my career, my professional career in education.
In education. Oh my goodness. It's so amazing because not a lot of people know that you have a degree in education. Your experience with the US started before becoming a refugee. Can you give our listeners a little understanding of the time that you spent in high school and coming in as a foreign exchange student? I think that give our listeners an understanding of how you became Dr. B.
Okay, that's good. Well, really, when I grew up in a small village, it was really a treat for me to live among friends. We didn't know any better. We enjoy village life, took every opportunity to make life meaningful for us as children. So we spent a lot of time playing games and spend hours in the Mekong rivers, swimming up and down the stream. Uh, competing against each other and all that.
Nice.
So at that time, it was also a time of public education expansion. So it was at that time also that the expectation of young people, my time, was to go to school, get education, and work in offices if lucky, instead of working in the rice fields.
Yes. Okay.
So for me, really, it was clear. I really wanted to have a better future for myself, and my parents supported that, and they did everything possible to make that happen for me. I started my secondary education in the French system. At that time, the only secondary education available in Laos was in French. The curriculum was a blueprint of the French system, taught by French teachers, and the Lao language was taught as a foreign language.
Oh, wow.
So, but in 1959, a brand new American high school was opened. So I was among the first group to attend that school. It was a small group of people, only 32 people, and the curriculum was intense, emphasizing, of course, the English language and the basics. So in 1962, I was selected as a foreign exchange student to come to the United States to attend the senior year of high school in Long Island, New York.
Oh, wow.
So I spent a year there. Of course, I thought that was the first time and the last time that I would have a chance to be in the United States. So I made the best of it.
Yes, I bet, yeah. You attended high school, completed high school in Long Island, New York, and then you went off to get your bachelor's.
No, actually, after I spent a year in Long Island, I had to go back to complete my secondary education in Laos.
Okay.
And in the fall of 1963, I was awarded a scholarship by the United States government under the US aid program. So I came to Southern Illinois University for my undergraduate, and I went on to work on my master's degree program. And then I was offered a fellowship and then teaching assistantship at the University of Southern Illinois University for my doctorate program. So I stayed there for 7 years, 7 full years.
Okay.
I went to regular school year as well as summer programs all the time. So when I finished my coursework in my doctoral program, I had to go to Laos. It was a requirement for me to have 2 years of work before I could be awarded a doctoral degree in education at that time.
So you came back to Laos for another couple of years. How did you complete that in Laos? By teaching?
No, I went to secondary school. I finished really high school education in Laos because when I came to the States, I did not complete the Lao secondary education yet, but I was chosen to come.
You come to the U.S.
To U.S. and spend 10 years of high school. So it was really a challenge for me because they put me, they thought I was smart and all that, and put me in, they call what, a gifted program.
Gifted program.
So it was really a challenge for me.
It put you to the test for sure.
Yeah, right. They certainly did. And I studied hard. I had a lot of fun. So that year was really a fun year for me.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that you had a meaningful and fun college experience in your youth in the U.S. That's all that we ever want, right? Yeah.
I never thought I would set my foot back in the States again. So
yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's very, very helpful to understand. Also, I can see the connection, with you having your degree in education and why you're such an advocate for education. Can I ask you, with regards to the family, your own family, were they also educators, or what was the legacy that you were born into?
That's good. That's good. No, I came from a farming family. Really, I was born and grew up during a period of turbulent times. Mm-hmm. Really, my family went through a lot of hardship. Mm-hmm. It was a period of French colonialism, high intrusion into Laos, the Japanese Empire expansion, World War II, a fight for Lao independence, a long civil war, and the Cold War. So it was really a challenging time. It was really a bleak time to be in at the time. Yes. But my family had a hope in me and wanted me to succeed. I can tell you a story. Really, it was
I would love that.
Probably a sad story in the beginning of my life, because at the age of 10, after third grade, I had to leave home to continue my elementary education in a town 8 kilometers away from home. Oh. So for about a year and a half, at different times, I stayed at the Buddhist temple. I stayed with relatives. I commuted by bicycle daily to go to school. So it was really hard for me. So I tried for a year and a half or 3 months. I thought it was too hard for me. So I quit school. I dropped out of elementary school. So what I wanted to do was go back and probably do farming. What really caught my interest and attention was a piece of land that belonged to my family. That land had thick woods and a creek running through the middle, teeming with birds, wild roosters, fish, and wildlife.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, so I thought, well, in the mind of a young boy, I could turn that plot of land into a paradise and put an end to the misery of my schooling.
Yes.
Of course, my parents were very upset with me. My father tried very hard to force me back to school through physical punishment measures. My mother, though, tried a more gentle persuasive approach, but nothing worked. So after 3 months, my mother told me, well, it's good. It's okay, son, if you really want to quit school, but we really have to go back to see the principal, meaning meaning my father, my mother, and me. She told me that we owed the principal an apology because the year before, when I began the school, they went to see him and ask him to look after me.
Oh, God. Mm-hmm.
So that was a plan, but it was a ploy. My parents had a different plan in mind. The moment I stepped into the principal's office, I found right away that he was not a happy man to see me. So he began to lecture me and to threaten me. If I didn't go back to school, it went on for about 15, 20 minutes. So I had no choice but go back to school. But what happened next was not what I expected. Because I missed 3 months of school, I had to repeat the grade the following year.
Oh, my.
So that's not something I expected.
Mm-hmm.
So that really triggered a lot of pride in me in ways that I cannot explain fully today.
I understand.
But really, that pride or loss of pride really made me to be more determined and prove to my friend that really the great retention was not an indicator of my inferiority.
Right.
So really my mother saved my life and she was my inspirer.
I love that. Thank you for sharing such a personal story. We're so grateful for your mother, for encouraging to go back. And yeah, you would not be here, I would say, if it weren't for her.
Yes, it's not for her. That's why she was my lifesaver. She installed a new life purpose in me and inspired me to follow a path to a brighter future. So I feel indebted to her forever.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. You have experienced you've seen a lot of war, and you've experienced a lot of challenges, in life, and yet you stand tall and successful. And can you share some of the lessons and values that you would like to pass down to the next generation? Because I imagined everything that you've experienced to today, what has brought you here are powerful lessons and values that we, as the younger generation, can really benefit from your wisdom.
The first lesson I want to share relates to my own experience, as a Lao American with the refugee legacy. I think I would like to share something about adaptation to a new environment, because to me, when I lost the country, when I learned that I had no country to go back to, my world was turned upside down. My dream and everything was lost. So what I had to do was to make sure that I survived as a person, not just to work and make a living, but to survive as a person and strive. So to me, I think I want to just briefly talk about adaptation, or the willingness or ability to adjust to a new environment or situation you find yourself in that is beyond your control. So for me, that's a big lesson for me. It was not easy, but it was necessary to live a happy life.
Yes.
So when I became a refugee in this country, it was really tough. I lost everything, as I said, my job, my career, my family, my home, my extended family, no place to go back to that I could call home. And most of all, the dream I had was to go back to Laos and serve the country that I saw had so much trouble under the control of foreign powers.
Mm-hmm.
So I lost that ability to live my dream. So to me, adaptation became my priority. So I had to adjust to a new environment because after completing my long years of education, completing my doctoral degree, I really wanted to work and serve the country.
Yes.
Could not. So what I had to do was to modify my plan and made it more applicable to the new environment. So instead of working on nation building efforts in Laos, as I had hoped to do, but I couldn't, I decided to spend my spare time, on working with Lao communities. So I organized Lao communities to help themselves. I established Lao PTA to help parents play a more active role in the schooling of the education, help schools to understand the culture and accept Lao parents, and work with them patiently as they learn their new role in the education of their children. And I also spend a lot of my time working with Buddhist temples. I serve on the board and I helped build a temple because I thought that was important for Lao people as refugees to have a place where they can have a spiritual support.
Beautiful.
So really, that's something that I had to do to survive, to fulfill my role as a person to help the country and the people that I always wanted to do in my life when I was growing up.
Sorry, I just very beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. Yeah, it was very emotional for me too, because living the refugee experience was really tough. I was depressed for a long time, but I knew I had to find a way out and live and fulfill my life.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, to leave those you love and everything that you had, your livelihood, and yet to start anew, like you said, to adapt, create a life that you're proud of and has meaning. And in doing that for yourself, you brought up, you not only did that for yourself, but you did that for a whole community, a whole generation. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I thought you relate to that.
Oh, yeah, the work that you did. I mean, you've done so much in the Lao community, in the education, and as you mentioned, with the temples as well. I don't know if you truly, I hope you understand the impact that you have on the community. And I just want to give you your flowers, if you will, by extending my gratitude and appreciation for your work. Yeah, it is not easy, as I mentioned, to lose everything and to restart. And so your story is so inspiring because I know that there is continued civil unrest as well as war across the world. And so
Yes.
there continues to be families that are needing to uproot and resettle. And you certainly have created a sense of community and belonging. As humans, we want the feeling of belonging to something.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, that was one of the things that I wanted to do and accomplish in my life in this country.
You certainly have done it and you continue to do it. Really, God bless you for everything and to protect you from harm. And we want to see you continue to do all the good things you do. Thank you so much for that lesson and life and the value of being able to adjust and adapt. When you think about leadership for the next generation, what does that look like for it to be grounded in this idea of authenticity and healing?
Yeah, I think leadership is very important, especially in a community, because I think when we talk about leadership, we really want to create positive impact on the people that we serve, that we love so much. It requires a lot of time, effort, and patience, but also it can be very frustrating and stressful at times. But it is rewarding also. People used to ask me, well, if it is so stressful and challenging, why did I choose to do it? Well,
Yeah.
to me, that's a very good question. My simple answer is because when I see a problem in a community that needs to be solved, I just could not close my eyes and do nothing. I had to make sure that I could be of help. So what I normally do when I think about leadership is I think about what I need to do in order to make people understand and stick with me. So I found that I need to have moral principles to lead. You cannot really anchor your action or decision on personal or individual interests, but it has to be rooted on principles. But really, it's difficult to do because when we talk about community work, and we want to make positive impact on people, we talk about relationships, and community work really is built on that, on relationships. And relationships are usually about personal or person to person connections. So it's important to think of the two, but we cannot really use personal interests to lead our decision-making process. Our decision or action has to be grounded on principles that are fair and just. So our decision has to be impartial, has to be fair, has to be consistent. And we really have to apply the principle consistently, to make an impact. But really to do that is hard. To try to apply principles on a constant basis is hard, because being patient or being impartial, fair, and also try to adhere to principles on a constant basis is hard. It may affect your personal relationship. You may lose a friend. You may feel alone sometimes. But really what it boils down to is that leadership demands steadiness, courage, and discipline. And that's what we have to do, that we have to stick to lead successfully.
Beautiful. Wow. Thank you for that. I love your response, and is exactly what I would expect from you in terms of, that leadership is based on principles of being fair and just, being consistent, being for the highest good, not for the individual. And I love that you said it's built on relationships, building trust and connecting with people. Essentially, also the values that we have within our own immediate family circle too, right? It's
right.
You show up consistently with those values and principles, then your likelihood of influence will be high, will be strong. There are moments when we're put to the test, because showing up consistently is not always easy. Practice it enough and that it becomes your normal. That's where then that's how you live.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to develop that kind of leadership.
Yes.
That I spent about 40 some years.
Yeah.
Community work. I mean, when I started, didn't go as smoothly as I had planned, ambitious, and had definite goals in mind that I want to accomplish. But the patience, the effort that you have to put into it, the time that it required, really was tough to manage. I learned a lot of these things the hard way.
Well, yes, we all do, but I think because you also learned to adapt, that helped you adjust coming back to your North Star, your truth.
Uh-huh.
Are there practices that you do to help ground yourself?
Yeah, there's a lot of reflection. There's a lot of self-taught
Yes.
experience
Mhm.
because, as in life,
Yes.
you have to learn from mistakes you make. You have to adapt. You have to look for new ways to make things better. Yeah, for me, really, I spend a lot of time reflecting on what I have done wrong, what I have done right, and what I could have done to improve myself and the work I do and establish meaningful relationships with the people I work with. Yeah, I spend a lot of time doing that, especially the times that didn't go too well for me, because there were times that I had to spend time going over things that I should have done differently to make things better and made things or people more comfortable working with me. So there was the times that I really spent a lot of in trying to improve myself. What you do is you don't really beat down on yourself.
Yes.
You really need to think about what you can do to make it better.
Yeah.
So by the end of the day, really, I didn't regret about what I did, and that was the strength that I had to find in myself. I had to think that what I did was for the good of the community. I did the best I could.
Yes.
Everybody was not is not perfect.
Yes.
So I learned that, and I had to put that into perspective and make sure that I share that kind of experience with the people I work with.
Yeah.
I was honest. I've been always honest with myself and other people, what I went through and all that, and share with them, and what I could have done better instead of thinking, about it myself, but asking other people for their input. That was the only thing that I learned a lot. I mean, it took me a lot of time to learn about feedback, because feedback really is a gift. I used to take it as a criticism, used to set it aside and say, okay, I understand. But really, at the end, feedback is a gift.
I love that. Let's just take a moment here, because I think that's such a beautiful quote. Feedback is a gift.
Yes.
How you take it is how you see it as well. If you see it as criticism, then you're not going to see it as a gift, and you won't right.
Yeah.
But I love your perspective. It's so feedback is a gift, because then that's how you get better.
Yeah. Yes. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So I learned I could not take a feedback lightly.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. B.
I had to make sure that every decision I made was made in a broader context.
Yes.
The focus is on the goals you want to achieve.
Definitely a mindset of a leader, a true leader, for sure. And reflection, adding reflection to every part of your daily life is very positive. Because I think we do get caught up on, I wish I could have done this, I wish I could have done that. But you just, you reflect, you think about how you can improve, and then you set it down and you start.
One thing that I do, I used to do a lot when I was working with the communities, was, jot down notes about what I did wrong, how I cut people off, how I did not take the time to make myself clear, because people I work with had different educational backgrounds, experiences, expectations. So I could not expect them to agree with me, believe in what I wanted to do. It took time. So I really had to take the time to do that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's a beautiful lesson for sure. Great advice. Now, if we were to ask the question about who has inspired you, I'd love to hear more about your mom, or it could be more than it doesn't have to just be your mom. It could be
Uh-huh.
others. But if you who has inspired you?
Yeah, I thought about that a lot,
Yeah.
Lily, because I think there are a lot of people that
Mhm.
had left an imprint in me.
Yes.
But when I look at my life, I really wanted to give credit to the environment, to the wars, to the things that I went through in life as I was growing up. So really, instead of saying a person, I want to say what inspired me to work with people and to help people was really the environment and the circumstances I was born into. I want to spend some time in that because
Yes.
in my life, I was growing up, as I told you, in my childhood, I felt remnants of the French colonization by intrusion into Laos. I don't know if you know about that during the French colonization period. The Japanese empire expansion, the Japanese actually went to Laos. I don't know whether you did that or not. The soldiers did that.
Wow.
The Cold War, how the Americans went to Laos and tried to replace the French and all that. So it really created a lot of impact on me. So really, I think of that as a force that inspired me to be who I am today, that I wanted to help people. Because as I said, in my education, all these negative experiences inspire me and many of my school friends to develop national pride and
Yes.
self-imposed obligation to the country and to our people. Because I saw so much misery and distress in the people, in my family members, my parents, my brothers, sisters, my neighbors, and Lao people in general. I uh, learned from my parents how foreign masters degraded them. So I learned from textbooks and from schools how colonial powers control and abuse the subjects. So all these had a great influence on me. I want to make things better. So young people of my generation develop a sense of obligation to make things better for ourselves and for the people around us. So really that was the inspiration that really molded my vision of how I want to grow up and I want to work with people.
Yeah, we are a product of our environment.
Yes. Yeah.
And how we show up. For me, I've always taught my kids like to try to leave the space that you are in better than you found it.
Yes. Right. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much how you've lived your life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I think that was meaningful for me to take it as a lesson, experiences,
Yeah.
good or
Yeah.
bad, to guide my way of thinking, my way of life, how I can improve people's life.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Dr. B, for that. If you could share a quote or a mantra that reflects your vision for legacy.
Yes, actually, I have two.
Oh, yes, please.
Came to my mind when I
Yeah.
thought about this because it relates to my legacy and my vision of leadership. One is a Chinese proverb that says, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. Because to me, that emphasizes even the most challenging, the longest, the daunting endeavor must begin with one measurable action. So to me, that's a beautiful proverb.
Yes.
And the other one is a quote from Mandela, because I think that resonates in me a lot. It says that a man's character is not measured not by how many times he falls, but by how many times he gets back up. So it defines a man's character by resilience, grit, and ability to overcome adversity.
That's beautiful. Definitely, I can see that you truly have lived by those mantras, for sure. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I hope I have, but
Oh,
those
yeah.
ideals anyway.
No, that's great. I love it. I love it. Thank you so, so much. It's been such a wonderful, wonderful conversation about your legacy and your path, your story. If you are open, I just have a couple of questions just to make it add a little bit of fun to this. I wanted to ask if you can describe your life's journey with one word, what would that word be?
Boy, that's tough. With one word. Well, I would say gratitude.
Gratitude. Oh,
Because I think I owe a lot of things to my parents, my friends, my colleagues, who helped me all the way along to be a successful person, a leader and educator that I am today. I think it's because of the people around me
yes.
helped me to be who I am. So I'm really grateful for that.
I love that. I love that. Next question. Is there a book that every young person should read? What is that book?
Yeah, I was thinking about something else, but when you ask about young people, okay.
Or it could be just anybody. What is that one book that everybody should read?
I don't know whether it is still available. The book that impressed me a lot was a book I read about, written by John F. Kennedy,
Okay.
A Profile of Courage.
Profile of Courage. We will find out. We will find out if it's still available.
Yes, it should be online still. But that book really resonated in me, and it made a lot of impression on me. I read that book when I was in this country as an exchange student, in fact.
Okay.
Let me see, that or my first year of my college education, I forgot. But that book really encouraged me to think and to behave in the way that he portrayed courage.
Love that.
So that's the book that I read.
Oh, great. Okay. Next question. A value that our community must never lose.
Okay. Well, I think that's also a loaded question. I think our root.
Our roots. Okay. I like that.
We should always remember who we are and where we came from. Because in the end, in this country, I learned that because of our skin, maybe because of how we look, people will always ask where you came from.
Yes. I get that all the time. Yes. I
Yes.
know what you mean.
Yes. So we have to be able to tell them our roots, how we got here, and
Yes.
what our roots were all about. So that's important to me.
I love that. Next question. One thing you want your grandchildren to remember about you.
Oh boy. A lot of things I want to remember about me.
I know. Just what's one thing though? What's one thing that you
One thing is we have to learn how to experience humility.
Okay.
We really live in a world where we have to get along. where we have to know ourselves and know other people. I think we have to live in humility, not
Yes.
to make ourselves or place ourselves above the others, but to respect other people and live people together as co-equals.
Love it. Thank you, Dr. B. Okay, this is the last one.
Okay.
Okay, the last one.
Okay, you have a lot of questions.
You're doing great. Something that gives you hope today.
Boy, it's got a lot of loaded questions. It's hard to see hope today because there are a lot of problems, as you can see. But my hope is that we have to look at humanity as a
Yes.
kind and caring entity.
Yes.
And we cannot really let ourselves looked at as a person that always want to be better than other people or be selfish. We have to really look at ourselves as a person that can share.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Dr. B.
Thank you. Thank you.
I so appreciate you. Thank you for being the keeper of these beautiful stories, steward of culture, and a bridge between generations. And you have created, as I mentioned, we talked about trees, creating shade for others to enjoy. You have created shade for many of us because it's people like you. You've planted trees long before I arrived, we arrived.
Thank
So I
you.
just want to thank you on behalf of the community. Khop Lei Lei.
Thank you. Thank you.
As we come to the close of season 1 of Rooted and Becoming, I find myself sitting with a profound sense of gratitude. When I began this journey, I didn't know exactly where it would lead. I only knew that there was a story inside of me needed to be told. Not just my story, but our story. The story of refugees, the story of immigrants, the story of daughters carrying expectations they never chose, the story of sons trying to find their place between cultures, the story of families who sacrificed everything so future generations might have a chance. Over the past 12 months, we've explored silence, belonging, identity, home, healing, love, visibility, worthiness, and legacy. Together, we have asked difficult questions, questions about who we are, questions about what we inherited, questions about what we are ready to release, and questions about who we are becoming. What has touched me most is realizing how many of us share the same wounds, even when our stories look different. Whether your family came from Laos, Vietnam, Mexico, Iran, Ukraine, Gaza, Somalia, or somewhere else entirely, there is something universal about longing to belong. There is something universal about wanting to be seen, about wanting to know that your life matters, about wanting to know that you are worthy. Again and again, our guests remind us that healing is not a destination, it is a practice, a choice, a willingness to tell the truth about where we've been while believing something greater is possible. This season has changed me. Each guest has been a teacher. Each conversation held a mirror. Each story has revealed another layer of what it means to be human. I want to thank every guest who trusted me with their stories. Thank you to my sisters, my friends, community leaders, authors, educators, advocates, and visionaries who showed up with courage and vulnerability. Thank you, Noonie Thibodeau, Faith Evans, Molly Tran, My Song, T. Rick, Yen Nguyen, Boloy Dayton, Bobby Odinara, Suha Patel, Samli Mat, Casey Kunsmanis, and Dr. Bounlieng Phommasouvanh. Thank you for reminding us that healing happens when we tell the truth. I want to thank the organizations and communities that continue to create spaces of belonging. The Lao Community Culture Center, the International Rescue Committee, A Greater Me, and so many others who are doing the quiet, often unseen work of helping people rebuild lives, reclaim identity, and discover possibility. I want to thank my family, my parents whose sacrifices made my life possible, my children, Nathan and Grace, who continue to inspire me to heal not only for myself, but for future generations. My sisters and loved ones who walked beside me on this journey, and to my incredible team behind the scenes, Kiara and Daisy of Get Be Wire, Celine Wild, Denora Gonzalez, and Aiko Lozar. Thank you for helping transform a dream into something real. Most importantly, I want to thank you, the listener. Whether you've been here since episode 1 or you found us somewhere along the way, thank you for sharing your time, your heart, and your trust. Thank you for sending messages, sharing your stories, and reminding me why this work matters. You are the reason this community exists. If there is one thing I hope you take away from this season, it is this. You do not need to earn your worth. You do not need to prove your belonging. You do not need to carry every burden handed to you by previous generations. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to redefine success. You are allowed to choose joy, and you are allowed to become fully yourself. As a refugee child, I spent much of my life believing survival was the goal. Today, I understand something different. Survival was only the beginning. The true journey is becoming whole, becoming free, becoming rooted enough to honor where we came from, and brave enough to grow beyond it. As we close season 1, I leave you with the question, what legacy are you planting today? What seeds are you sowing through your choices, your healing, your courage, and your love? Because the world we leave behind will grow from the seeds we plant now. May we plant seeds of compassion. May we plant seeds of truth. May we plant seeds of abundance. May we plant seeds of belonging. And may future generations sit in the shade of trees we may never see fully grown. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next season, stay rooted, keep becoming, and remember, you've always been worthy beyond measure. Thank you. Please follow and subscribe at GoldTree Co. Stay rooted and becoming, and worthy beyond measure.